All right, guys, so we're continuing on with the 6.6, 6.7 quiz review, looking at number 8. Okay, so we want to write the vector v in terms of I and j, and the magnitude and direction are given. So here's the formula for that. It's going to be magnitude of v, cosine theta, I guess we want it in terms of I and j, cosine theta I, plus magnitude of v sine theta j. So what we get is we get 36 cosine 45 degrees I plus 36 sine 45 degrees j. And we do want to simplify. So we get 36 times radical 2 over 2, which is cosine of 45, and 36 radical 2 over 2 j. Simplifying that, we get 18 radical 2i plus 18 radical 2j. All right. This next one here, let's go ahead and we're finding the magnitude and direction of this for v, so we want to simplify first. So 6i minus 6i is 0i, so these just go away. And then negative 6j minus negative 8j is 2j. I'm going to write that in component form just for my own sanity. So when we find that magnitude, it's going to be square root of 0 squared plus 2 squared. So we get the square root of 4, which is 2 for the magnitude. Then for theta, we're going to do tangent of theta is equal to y over x. So we're looking where tangent of theta is undefined. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to draw a picture. And so if I have 0, 2 right here, then this is at 90 degrees. So that's what theta is going to be equal to, is 90 degrees. So for that one, we have to draw a picture to kind of figure out drawing that vector of 0, 2. All right, number 10. Want to find v dot w and v dot v. So v dot w, we're going to do 10, 1 dot 1, 10. So we get 10 plus 10, which is 20 for that scalar. Then for v dot v, we have 10, 1 dot 10, 1. So we're going to get 100 plus 1 gives us 101 for that scalar, for that dot product. Number 11. Says let u equal 2i minus j, v equal 3i plus j, and w equal I plus 5j, and find the specified scalar. So we were looking for 4 u dot v. So I'm going to have 4, and then go ahead and do our u to negative 1 dot j v, which is 3, 1. So we have 4 times 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. 4 times 5 is 20. Moving pretty fast here. Feel free to pause if you need to. All right, so it says what's the angle between v and w? I'm going to go ahead and write out v is negative 2, negative 9. And w is 10, negative 1. So the formula for that is that cosine theta equals U dot V, or in this case, V dot W over the magnitude of V times the magnitude of W. So we have negative 2, 9 dot 10, negative 1 over the magnitude would be the square root of negative 2 squared plus 9 squared dot 10 squared plus negative 1 squared. So we have negative 20 minus 9 over square root of 4 plus 9 squared. So 81 plus 4 is 85. And the square root of 101. I'm gonna come up, and actually move this up. So then from there, we have the negative 29 over 85 times 101 would give us 8585, the square root of that. And so then this is all equal to cosine theta. So then theta is equal to the inverse cosine of 29 over the square root of 8585. We load here. So we have the inverse cosine of 29 divided by the square root of 8585. Want to make sure we're in degrees, and we get 71.76. It does say to round to the nearest tenth. So we're round to 71.6 degrees. All right, 13. A wagon is pulled along level ground by exerting a force of 30 pounds on handle that makes an angle of 45 with the horizontal. How much work is done by pulling the wagon 80 feet? So we need our force vector and we need our direction vector, or distance vector. So for a force vector, it's going to be the magnitude, cosine our angle. So magnitude, cosine of our angle, 45. And then 30 sine of that angle for that force vector. Direction vector is going 80 feet. So what that means is it's going 80, 0. Because it's moving along the horizontal there. All right, so then our work done is going to be 30 cosine 45, 30 sine 45, dot 80, 0. So we end up getting, run out of space here. We end up with 80 times 30, which is 2400 cosine 45, and then 0 times anything is 0. So 2400 cosine of 45 in degrees is 1697.05. But it says to round to the nearest whole number, so we'll say 1697. That's what you get if you type this into your calculator. Gonna go ahead and make that smaller. We can have room here. All right, For this next one here, it says a force of 80 pounds on a rope is used to pull a box up a ramp inclined at 10 degrees from the horizontal. And the figure shows that the rope forms an angle of 33 with the horizontal. How much work is done pulling the box 30 feet along the ramp? All right, so picture's already drawn for us. I'm gonna go ahead and write out force and distance. So for a force vector, I have two angles here, but what I need is the difference between them. So I'm going to take 33 minus 10 to get 23 degrees, and that's what theta equals. So my force vector is going to be 80 cosine of 23 degrees, 80 sine 23 degrees. Then my direction vector, it's moving 30 feet along the ramp. And so it's moving from 30, 0. So when we multiply these two things together, and we don't really have to worry about the angles with that, it's just how far it traveled, then we're gonna do 80 cosine 23, 80 sine 23 dot 30, 0. So we get 30 times 80, which is 2400 cosine 23. So 2400 cosine of 23 gives us 2,209 foot-pounds. All right, this is our last problem. We're determining whether V and W are parallel, orthogonal, or neither. So we need to test for both parallel and orthogonal until one is true. If both are false, then it's neither. So let's go ahead and test to see if they're orthogonal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find their dot product. And if it comes out to equal 0, then it's orthogonal. So I'm going to do 10, 5 times 2 is 10, 2 times 5 is 10. I get 20, which is not equal to 0, so not orthogonal. All right, let's do the test for parallel. We're going to take our slope of u, so that's going to be our j over our u. So we're going to do 2 over 2, and we get 1. Same thing for w. We get 5 over negative 5, which is negative 1. 1 is not equal to negative 1, so they're not parallel. So the answer is that they are neither.